No risk aversion for you.
Oh no, I don't. It's weird. I don't really feel risk.
It's funny that like Alex Honnold was brought up in the Rogan convo because I wonder if you guys have a similar approach.
100%.
Yeah.
My risk
Underdeveloped
tolerance
amygdala.
is like, but it's also like at that point I had spent 7 years of my life compulsively studying YouTube, studying what does well. So I
felt
also think it's
confident.
exactly. I think it's a little more confidence and probably what he has. Like I don't know. It's like this is my whole life.
Yeah.
You know? Either it works or I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
you know?
And then you paid off your mom's house, right?
Oh yeah, and then she's great. My mom has multiple houses.
How-
She can
how-
have whatever she wants.
Have you guys had multiple moments like that? Like any other moments where you guys kind of look at each other and you're like,
Oh, God.
mama, like
Yeah,
we're
she would
doing
love to tell these stories, like especially once we started making like good money, like $100,000 a month is coming in.
it. What is that,
Dude,
that combo?
I would be like, okay, good. Next month we're spending $101,000 on videos, and she'd just be like, can you just spend $90,000, like, please? And I'd be like, no. I was like, money is a means to grow the channel and make better videos, and it just like broke her heart because she also like lost everything in like the 2008 recession and that kind of stuff. So she's like super risk adverse. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Let's take out a loan. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And so we just did that for like 2 years because she would help me with my taxes and stuff like that.
Doesn't she work for you now?
Yeah, she does. Well, she does whatever she wants. But at that time, it was like, she just was like, please. Like, she was even like, she would be like, because she loves me. She'd like, you know, if we got $1 million that comes in, like hide $100,000 as a rainy day fund in case I just blow up. Yeah. And then I'd find it and I'd be like, oh, no, perfect. We got an extra $100,000 next month. Like, we got more videos. And it was like, she just hated it because I just went all in all the time. And it's like, oh, we got to take another loan out this month. And she's like, why? And I'm like, but I don't know. It's not like I was trying to stress her out. It's just like, that's just who I am.
That's how you're
you know?
wired.
Maybe that's the confidence of coming from zero.
Exactly. I was
know
like,
you could build
it's
it
either
from
this
nothing.
or it's like the thought of money sitting around when I could hire more people or do better videos or give away more money just literally would drive me crazy.
And no attachment to material things. So like if I lose everything, okay, who cares? I move back in at home.
But she's already lost everything, so she's completely different. But there came a time after 2 years where like I kind of just broke her and she's like, you know what? I trust him. It seems to be working. And I just told her, I was like, either you believe in me or you don't. Like either you think I'm going to make this work or you don't. And she's like, I do. And I was like, okay, just let me do my thing. And now we're great.
And after you paid off her house and like the cameras turned off, did you guys have a moment like, holy shit?
Yeah, well, that's where eventually I was like, all right, so you don't have to be stressed out. I was like, we'll pay off the house. We'll buy you a second house if you want it. Here, you're now no longer debt free. Now she's great because like she doesn't have to worry about this imploding, and you know, it's not like she made tons of money. Like she still had 20 years left on her mortgage and stuff like that. But now that that's not like a problem, it's great. Yeah, because like at least now only my life's fucked if I fuck up, which is what I wanted as well.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You're willing to risk your life.
Yeah,
You don't want to risk
my
your mom's life.
Exactly. And so even though I kind of was at the start, but then that's when I took a step back and I was like, you know, there really is a chance this just implodes. So why don't we just take care of you real quick?
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to
That's
like
something off your back too. Now you get to create more freely.
Yeah.
You're not going into every month like.
I was anyways. I mean,
didn't
because
give a
I just
fuck.
believed in it. There was no world where we failed. If we're filming 10 times longer, we're spending 30 times longer brainstorming ideas, we're reinvesting every dollar plus extra because sometimes we're out on loans, and we're just outworking everyone. Why would they not watch the videos? That was just my logic. It was like foolproof. There's no way it's going to fail, you know?
Now, you're a big...
Which is not the correct logic, and you shouldn't, but I was naive, and that's what I was convinced.
I think that is the correct logic. If you're working that much harder.
Yeah,
assuming you have the right knowledge of the algorithm, because I've seen motherfuckers work really hard, reinvest everything, and just end up with nothing, you know? So, but I had that confidence because I spent 7 years prior studying and obsessing over it. Some people like to just jump in and, you know, basically skip the knowledge stage and do it. And, you know, I see it happening and I'm like, you know, I don't think you know as much as you should. Like, you really shouldn't reinvest everything. Like, maybe you dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, because you can kind of tell when people get lucky or like when they actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get lucky and they
think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
that's the worst spot to be in.
I would just maybe reinvest half the money. Like,
it's like every crypto investor.
Yes.
Until the crash.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
But it's not just crypto. It's the stock market too. It's like everybody was making money. So like, I'm a genius. And then it crashed and it's like, oh, here's reality.
You're a genius till you're not. Yes. Or actually, I like it. The better phrase is like, you're like you're an idiot until you're a genius.
Until
like
you're a genius,
yeah, or like you're a loser or whatever. If you're super obsessive, like it's funny how like if you have 100 subscribers and you're super obsessive and you know life, it's just like you're a fucking idiot. You're a loser. Get a life. But if you're that same person with 5 more zeros on the end, you're a fucking genius. And it's so funny how it changes. And if there's one thing
how do you think it's supposed to work?
I don't know, but I just know it's like. When I was younger, it was just hell. Like, because I didn't relate to anyone. I didn't watch South Park or movies or anything while everyone else did. Yeah. And like people at the age of 15 just can't comprehend having drive and wanting to work. So you're just like this little outcast.
And now you're probably surrounded by all these people who are just as driven.
Oh, and those same people now will call me up and be like, "Holy shit, you were a visionary."
Love this.
And it's like, well, back then, why would you? Make my life hell because I didn't watch whatever the fuck was on TV. You know what I mean? So, which is, I'm fine. I don't care. But I feel for the younger people that are like that. Like, our system basically beats it out of you almost in a way where, no, conform.
Oh, so there was like bullying for like just you and your obsessiveness from
Not
peers.
bullying, but I just like,
You didn't fit in.
Yeah, 100% didn't. Like, I would talk about YouTube and it was just an ongoing thing where they'd just be like, do you know anything besides YouTube? Are you capable of anything else besides YouTube? And I'd be like, well, no, but back then I didn't know what to say. And so I just didn't talk. Like there'd be days where I just wouldn't say like a single word in school because like all I knew was YouTube. And since no one cared, and this was way before YouTube was cool, before you even knew you can make money, like I just like, what do I talk about? What do I say?
Do you think you got lucky in that you were obsessed with a thing that became the form of entertainment in the world, or did you know that it was going to be? Like, were you looking at
was luck, 100%. Because obsession very well could have been
Vine
or being hosting a TV show or whatever. So yeah, or Vine, exactly. Yeah. So agreed. The best thing that ever happened to me is I fell in love with YouTube at a young age because I also think it takes 10 years to like really master something. 10 years and like 10,000 hours is kind of the start, more like 30, 40, 50,000 hours. And so I just started mine when I was 11.
So you had that early.
Most people start theirs when they're like 20, 25, whenever they get out of college. And so, but what's OP about that is the earlier you make money, the more it compounds, the more the knowledge compounds. Because now when I'm 30, I have like a whole 10 years of obsession on them. So it's like really hard for people to compete with you
100%.
If you find it young.
And you're always going to be compared to the people around your age.
Exactly.
So they're like, how the fuck is this kid 24?
Exactly. They just graduated college.
And no one's going to catch
I've been grinding since 11, so I'm 13 years in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, good luck. So, but that's the thing, like, that's an anomaly and you're like ostracized from society and you're a fucking weirdo loser every step of the way up until, it works. And so I wish we could like, I don't know, I don't know the answer, how you would do it. Because, like, what's the difference between that and just actually being a fucking obsessive loser over something unimportant? I don't know. But I do wish there was a way we fostered it a little bit more and, like, didn't beat the shit out of people who,
Yeah, maybe that happens now, though. I mean, it's so commonplace that these kids are going to have, every kid has a YouTube page, it feels like.
YouTube aside, I'm just talking about everything in general.
Anybody who's a little bit outside of the box.
I think, like, obsession over things, like, we should allow and we should encourage people to be obsessed. If you find that thing that you're like,
it's like your soul's way of guiding you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And some obsessions are okay, and then some are weird.
That's like heroin, maybe not, but like,
but like if someone's obsessed with a guitar at a young age, people will be like, "Oh, that's cool." But if you're obsessed with YouTube, they're like, "Oh, you got to go outside more. You have to play more sports."
But again, I think that's also exposure. Now that we see guys like this, we're like, "Oh, there's
it's normalized."
There's a means to that. There's
exactly.
Like,
but you needed one person to break through.
Exactly. You need the person to break through. I mean, like, Tony Hawk said the same thing about skateboarding. I know that sounds crazy. Oh, wow. Really? Tony Hawk was like, I was bullied for skateboarding. Skateboarding wasn't cool. Like, they made fun of us. Like, they were calling them names and shit for being a skateboarder. They were outcasts.
I've never heard that story before.
We couldn't believe it. I mean, we're all sitting here like, wow, skateboarding is
the coolest shit.
Wait, you got Tony Hawk on here?
Yeah.
Good for you.
We got MrBeast on here. But so Tony was there, and he's just like, and he was like, it wasn't cool at all, but I was so obsessed. It's really interesting. You see successful people, and it really comes down to
I hear this kind of story from all of them.
Every single time, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. You have to, like...
Your obsession outweighs the insecurity of being an outsider.
Exactly. Well, you just like, if you're not doing this, you might as well just be dead.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of life?
And most people, the insecurity of being an outsider will make them push away their obsession.
If you're young and you're not like slightly being made fun of for your obsession, you're not obsessed enough.
Yes.
Like 100%. And that's fucked. It's not how it should be, but that is just society.
And it's okay to not be that obsessed. Like, not everybody needs to have a singular focus. Like, But if you do have that and people are making fun of you and that thing might be able to make money,
don't be afraid of it.
You will be all right.
But it can, no matter what it is, it can.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what is it? Like if you make just like $100, when you break it down, you only need to make like $100 a day to live off of it. And which isn't like crazy, depending on the obsession. It's like if you actually think about something every day for, 10 years. It's pretty hard not to be able to find a way to like for that to be valuable.
Not to mention with the internet, whatever your niche is, there's at least 10,000 other people that are willing to pay for you to be a part of your niche.
Dude, we would say this about drug addicts all the time. It's like if they applied that effort towards anything else in life, like $100 a day is nothing. If
that's
you're
the
like
thing.
a real drug addict,
natural addiction. Like that's the thing. You're looking like that's what this is.
And every second of your day is how do I make some money so I can have that thing I love?
Yeah.
And what if every second of your day is how do I figure out this YouTube thing so I can make some money?
Yeah.
So with that obsession, are you ever gonna not do YouTube?
Well, I think it's pretty crazy how most people, they spend most of their money on like ads or like startups or things like that, getting the company off the ground. I think it's a pretty crazy place we can be in. I mean, look at let me switch to the newer videos. Like I can launch a company and, obviously I love it. This is what I was put on this earth to do. I couldn't stop if I wanted to, but it's also just like probably the most lucrative position I could be in because I can like do anything I want and instantly show 100 million people, which there's never been like someone in this position ever before. It's just like Beastburger is crushing it. Like it's going to do over 100 million this year. Feastables is crushing it.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
And like our other stuff as well is crushing it. And that's just like we're just getting started. And so,
how many? Sorry, go on. I have a question after about this. But
go ahead, hit me.
It's how many of these companies do you think you start and become successful before the big companies start going, fuck, advertise with them, advertise with them?
I think you're going to see, I know a couple of people who are just crushing it with companies. And like next year, you'll probably see a couple of people who become billionaires off of YouTube. And then I think that's when they'll turn heads.
When did you say next what?
Next year, probably. Probably towards the end of next year.
Can you say who those people are?
Yeah, I think we can say who.
But I think like other ones, like I'll tell you after. But yeah, there's at least like 3 people that like in the next year will probably